Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, and when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Okay. On Fridays, we do like the tax drama. We do the tax drama show. And this is one that hit the airwaves yesterday, as far as I know. All right, so Own Me in a Hellcat. If you don't know who he is a famous YouTuber, and he owns, it's called Gears Reloaded IPTV services, okay? Now, this ought to tell you that you can be a billionaire, and there are still people who have no idea who you are, because I had not heard of this dude until I saw all the stuff on social media yesterday. So let's talk about who he is and what is going on. So like I said, he's a famous YouTuber, and he owns this IPTV service. So IPTV is Internet Protocol TV services. And this is stuff like Netflix and Hulu, right? And so he got raided yesterday by the FBI, and he put this like 30-minute long video on his YouTube channel talking about this stuff. And so I watched the video, what he had to say, took some notes. And so now I'm coming to give you the stuff, the tax stuff, okay, because it's a trip. So let me tell you what's going on. So let's talk about IPTV, because I had never heard of such a thing. So again, IPTV is Internet Protocol TV services, and IPTV streaming is not illegal in the US. However, when providers like try to resell or steal signals, that's piracy, which is a federal offense. And so this is part of what he's caught up in. So I went and looked at IPTV terms of service, because you know what? You can find out a lot if you read people's terms of service. And it says you may not either directly or through the use of any device, software, internet site, web-based service, or other means restream, distribute, broadcast, or transmit the content. So Gears Reloaded was an app for Fire Stick. I've never even used a Fire Stick. I don't even know how you use a Fire Stick, but that's what it is. So the app might constitute some software, right? And in his video, he said he used capture cards, something else I never heard of, okay, which are input devices used to convert gameplay signals to digital data that can be uploaded to the internet. So that might be a device, right? So I watched this video, and I want to go through what his video was talking about, and like show you some of the flaws in what he was thinking. Like, okay, so please understand, I am not an attorney. Okay, I'm not going to get caught up in the legal aspects of this, just based, just what he shared. But I'm going to talk about the tax part, right? Okay, because that's fire. All right. Okay. So, so first of all, this is a copyright infringement case that has turned into a tax case. Okay, and his charges may consist of piracy, money laundering, and tax evasion. So first thing is, I went to his YouTube channel. Like I said, I'd never even heard of this guy, so I went and peeped the YouTube channel. And on his channel, he's got videos of him buying all these expensive cars, and everybody that was commenting on his posts and on, posts on social media about this talks about his car collection. So there was, videos of him buying all these expensive cars. There was videos about him buying, beachfront property and all this other stuff. I have told you all, if you've been watching my videos for any length of time, I have told you, do not let your social media betray you, because it will. The IRS, when they're building a case against you, the FBI, the FTC, the SEC, and any other initials you can think of, they're going to go to your social media and see what you're posting, because they know you can't keep stuff to yourself. So you out here living that life, and the government officials are building a case against you, right? So that's the first thing. Now, in his video, he admits that he had not filed taxes since 2016. Now, the thing that he said in his video, he said, by law, I had 3 years to pay my taxes. That is incorrect, okay? You have 3 years to claim a refund. You are supposed to file all of your taxes timely, and you are supposed to claim all of your income, whether through legal or illegal gain, okay? So on a regular day, your taxes are due April 15th of any given year, unless you file an extension. Then their filing is due October 15th. That's what it is. But the extension is for filing paperwork. It ain't for paying your taxes. So if you know, you got to write the check. Okay. I'm just saying. So he has not filed his taxes. And so he says that he wasn't given a chance to pay his taxes. Oh, yes, you had the time to pay your taxes. You just didn't. Okay. Now, then the next thing, of course, he blamed the CPA. Of course, it's the CPA's fault. Now, don't get me wrong. If he has a CPA that's complicit in any type of wrongdoing, they will be held responsible. However, it is not the CPA's responsibility to make sure that you file your taxes. It's not our responsibility. It's not your tax professional's responsibility. It's nobody's responsibility for you to file and pay your taxes but your own. But he's talking about he had a poor CPA, then he fired that one and he was getting somebody else and they was getting ready to get right, but he didn't do it yet because he didn't have enough time. That's not correct. When you have to understand what the law is before you can talk about what the law didn't do, okay? So then the next thing he said someone opened a merchant account for him. I don't know if it was his brother or friend or whatever, but someone opened a merchant account for him because of his credit. So at some point, your merchant account is going to have a Social Security number attached to it. Even if you use a tax ID, they want to know the person behind the tax ID number. So it's going to get to a person regardless. So if that person opened a merchant account and, you know, all this money was coming through there, if that person didn't file and claim the income and pay the taxes, if Omi didn't file the taxes and claim the income, yeah, that's tax evasion. And it's also, you know, that's just when it looks criminal, even if that was the case. If you are not filing and paying your taxes, you're making all this money and you're buying all this stuff, you ain't paying stuff, and then you got your account in someone else's name. It might not be criminal necessarily, but it surely looks suspect, and they can make a case against that. This is why you don't be having your stuff in your mama name and stuff, because you get people hemmed up. Because you know what, the FBI and all these government agencies, they look they do their homework. They know who your known associates are. So if it's your mama, your baby mama, whatever, right? Because he also said that the feds seized all his accounts with the exception of his YouTube account. They also seized his baby mother's accounts, right? Because you know what? They're looking for this money. They're looking to see if you are funneling money through someone else to avoid paying taxes, hence the tax evasion case. They seized the cash that he had at his home. They seized drones, Xboxes, anything of value really they took. He also mentioned having money in different accounts. Now, there is nothing wrong with having money in different accounts, but it calls into question if there was any structuring going on. Structuring is when you intentionally deposit less than $10,000 in cash to avoid Bank Secrecy Act reporting. So if you go to your bank and you want to withdraw $10,000 in cash or more, then the bank has to report that to the government, okay? If you go and deposit, if you walk in with $10,000 cash and deposit that into a bank, then the bank has to report that. If you go to buy a car and you pay cash, if you go and drop, you know, $40,000 down cash for a car, then that dealership has to report receipt of that cash. Okay, so there's all of these laws that have to be, you know, that complied with when we're dealing with that kind of money. But structuring is when you intentionally deposit and you deal in amounts in less than $10,000 so you can try to avoid detection. The last person I saw that went to jail for that was a little boy from Jersey Shore. I can't remember his name. Him and his brother went to jail. So that's what structuring is. That's also like when you have PayPal accounts and you're trying to stay under 200 transactions and $20,000 so they don't issue you a 1099-K. That's also structuring, y'all. But anyway, so he talks about, the other thing that he talked about is that he received no fair warning. However, he also mentioned that, you know, he sold some stuff because the FBI seized everything but what he sold. Well, you must have known something was going on if you went and sold some stuff. I'm just saying. But, you know, but the thing about it is this, when it comes down to the taxes, okay, You are required to report all income. You are required to file your taxes on time. He obviously did not do either one. And so even though this may have started out as copyright infringement, again, when a case starts out as a criminal case, it can turn into a tax case in the blink of an eye, because you either filed the taxes or you didn't. You either claimed the income or you didn't. You either paid the taxes or you didn't. It's very simple. And so if they, even if they don't convict him of the piracy thing, if they have a case on the tax part, they can pursue that tax case, and he could go to jail for the tax evasion if they can prove that's what it was. Okay, so even though he's saying he doesn't feel like he did anything wrong, he said that in his video. He said, I don't feel like I did anything wrong. It is not the feeling that determines the legality. It is, was it illegal or not? Did you abide by the terms of service or not? Is it copyright infringement or not? He compares this to Napster. Napster went through some stuff a long time ago, but I ain't heard nothing else from Napster. It's still in business as far as I know, but I'm just saying. So when it comes down to, all, listen, just because it doesn't start out as a tax case doesn't mean it won't morph into a tax case, because a lot of times the tax cases are easier to prove than anything else. The most famous one is Al Capone. Al Capone said, well, they can't take taxes from illegal money, and the government said, oh yes we can, and that's why he went to jail. And so this person is, saying that he may go to jail behind all of this, and it's possible he could go to jail behind whether it's the copyright thing, the piracy thing, or the tax evasion thing. We don't know what's going on yet. But if there are other people involved, if other people committed illegal acts, they're going to be getting indicted and hemmed up too. That's just the way it is. So when it comes down to your taxes, you cannot just sit there and say, my CPA did it, my tax professional did it, unless you can show that they gave you incorrect instruction or did something illegal on your behalf. Then, that's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to file your taxes based on the information that you gave us. If you don't give us all of your income, we can't file what you don't provide, right? That's what it is. That's the law. Okay, that's the rules that we have to follow. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this to see what happens with this, you guys. But listen, you got to claim that income, okay? And also the other thing that he said is that there was somebody in his camp that he knew was a confidential informant because he could see the wire and stuff. And he was talking about, well, I could see the wire, so I was just saying stuff just to see how far it would go. Who does that? Who really does that? Okay, I don't know. But yeah, but I think there's still more to this that we just don't know about, but it's going to come out in time, okay? So that's it. Lessons learned in this. Number one, it's your responsibility as a taxpayer to make sure your taxes are filed on time, even if you can't pay, okay? Yes, you have to file your taxes. So you can work out the tax debt, but you still got to file on time, all right? That's number one. Number two, you got to report all the income. You got to report all the money that you make. I don't care if it's a dollar. If you make $1 selling something, you got to report the income. All right. And then, of course, file on time or file your extensions on time. You will always hear me tell you those things. So those are some basic things that if he had gotten those right, if he had filed those taxes, even if he could not have paid the bill, he would have been a lot better off than what he is now. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. And you can come right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day. And I will see you all next time. Bye.